The 49ers defense got rocked right before halftime. That was something Chris and I spent a lot of time talking about on Tuesday. The play call from defensive coordinator Steve Wilks to send 7 men after Kirk Cousins on a 3rd and 15 with 16 seconds left. Cousins connected with Jordan Addison, even though Charvarius Ward had the ball intercepted. Addison took it away and ran in for the touchdown and just changed all the momentum going into halftime, giving the Vikings a 9-point lead. Here's head coach Kyle Shanahan talking about the decision by Steve Wilks to call that cover 0 blitz, that all-out blitz, that send 7 and keep 3 back to cover man-to-man the 3 guys who went out into a pattern. Here's Shanahan from yesterday.
He knows you guys, I think, talk to him tomorrow. He knows he messed up on that call. I have no problem with 0 blitzes, especially when people need a lot of yards. You know, if you need to get 20 yards to kick a field goal, I have no problem with the 0 blitz. But I do when there's 16 seconds left, and that's where he lost track. There was no necessary need for that just because of the time. I have no problem with the call. But, I mean, I have no problem with that play call, but when it's that time, you can't do that. It's not an option.
Okay, look, I've got real questions about this, and we talked about this on Tuesday. I have a hard time processing and accepting what the role and responsibility is of the head coach who completely delegates one side of the ball to the coordinator on that side of the ball.
Right.
There's a fine line between delegation and abdication.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of your buddy kind of pitching Steve Wilks under the bus. I mean, he said at the outset he's going to talk to you guys tomorrow. Why not just say, Steve's going to be available to you tomorrow. You can talk to him about it then.
Well,
right?
I think you get it out of the way. Again, not that I have inside info here. I have not talked to Kyle Shanahan, but he's the kind of guy, Mike, that I think kind of just takes it head on and like, let's get it out of the way so we don't have another day of, hemming and hawing and people writing articles and everybody's got to go ask our players and all that. Like, he just gets it out of the way so it kind of takes, steam out of the subject a little bit. And it becomes a little bit less of a distraction. That would be my 2 cents, again, and knowing how he handles it. I know it's a tough situation either way, but that's would be at least what I think he is thinking by doing that, okay?
But knowing full well that Kyle Shanahan is not a fan of the annoying headline at PFT.
Yeah.
Headlines along the lines of Kyle Shanahan throws Steve Wilks under the bus, which wasn't a headline yet at PFT, but still could be. The day is young. I just wrestle with this, and our good friend J.J. Watt got involved in the conversation on Twitter last night. You're the head coach of the team. This is what you said on Tuesday. He's the head coach. What are you doing as Steve Wilks is calling a cover 0 7-man blitz with 16 seconds left in the half? If you know it's something you're going to say after the fact he shouldn't have done, where are you to stop it from happening? You're the head coach. Where are you to pull the plug, break glass in event of emergency, hit the kill switch? JJ eventually acknowledged could have called a timeout. And, yeah, it would have given the Vikings more time, but you call a timeout.
Yeah.
Look, so many of my lessons about football come from playing Madden. When I get myself in a bad defense, when I'm playing Madden, and I know, you call a timeout. Fine, the offense gets to pick another play, but I get to pick another play too, because the play I picked is caca, and I need a different play. So I'm fascinated by how this works. And here's the distinction. And I hold Kyle to a higher standard because I've said before I think he could be the next Bill Belichick.
Sure.
You know damn well Bill Belichick is in position to hit the kill switch on anything that's about to happen on the field. Anything. Well, why aren't we holding other great coaches to that standard as well? Why is it okay to say, he's delegating?
Yeah.
He's delegating.
Yeah.
He's abdicating in that moment.
No, I think it's fair. I think again, Kyle's a big boy. I'm his friend. He knows that, yes, he could have done better in that moment. There's no doubt. In fact, I would be shocked if he didn't learn from that moment. Again, I don't know if we have the play that we could show. And again, I haven't talked to him or anything. But if we show some of these replays, like here, pause it right there. He's at the top of the screen. He's looking at a Microsoft tablet there, just a little back right there, white shirt next to the referee, right? There's another thing we're going to see right there on the 34-yard line. So this is the problem a little bit when you're the play caller head. You see in the background right there, rewind it. There he is, right? Let's go back a little bit if you can, Pete, just a little bit. Thank you. Good job, Kristen and everybody. I didn't mean to be annoying or bossing you around, but see him there. So, to your point, right? Here he is where, he's a play caller. He's a head coach, and he's looking at things on the Microsoft tablet and, maybe didn't process what Steve Wilks actually called as he's listening to it. Maybe he was listening to another an offensive coach in his ear, and they were talking about that. But I think this will be a moment Shanahan will realize, wait, he can't do that in these moments, and he needs to make sure that he keeps his, brain on managing the football game. But within that, too, I think he's had all these discussions about his philosophy and how he wants situations played. And the coaching staff and a guy like Steve Wilks knows where he stands on some of these issues. So I think he's trusting a guy who's also a veteran defensive coordinator and been around that, hey, we've talked about these type of things and how I want to play these moments and all that. And he'll follow through and understands it, and he's been around the block too. Again, I'm not trying to make excuse for Shanahan. At the end of the day, you're right, it's his fault. But I think those are some of the or at least some of the context that goes into the situation and why it was messed up.
And I know, and I've learned over the past 23 years of covering this sport, that the people who are assigned to cover a given team have to strike a balance.
Yeah.
When they're going to ask tough, aggressive questions, because then you get the guy pissed off and he doesn't want to cooperate with you and he won't be interviewed by you off to the side. That's what happens at a lot of these press conferences.
Definitely.
You have the coach speak, and then the coach meets with the gaggle of reporters off to the side for something that may be off the record, but it helps them do their job. It helps them understand the broader context. I would have loved a simple follow-up question, though. Why didn't you kill the play?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get involved?
Why didn't you call timeout?
Help us understand how this works.
Whatever.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it. Hey, coach, how much of that is Wilks' complete and total authority and autonomy? How involved are you in possibly saying, whoa, what are we doing here?
Sure.
I'd love to hear him explain that.
Me too.
And he'll be available on Friday.
Yeah.
That's his usual schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I hope somebody who covers the team says, we heard from Wilks yesterday, and they're going to talk to Wilks today. Maybe they'll say to Wilks, where's Kyle fit in this whole process of overruling or vetoing whatever it is you're going to do? Do you have full autonomy, or can he say, whoa, let's not do that. Let's call timeout. Let's regroup. Let's have a discussion here. We're about to step into a trap with this, potentially. Even though, and it's funny, when you're trying to have these conversations with people, they love to move the frickin' goalposts around, because when you start making progress on this idea that it was a bad play call, what they'll say is, oh, Ward should have intercepted it.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
No.
Yes, he should have.
Right.
But that doesn't change the fact that it was a bad play call.
That's the
They
problem.
almost got lucky.
Yeah,
it was a 50-50
play.
It was a bad play call.
Right, it's a 50-50 play. That's the problem. You're hoping a guy makes a play. There was nothing to be gained by that play call. That's the problem, and that's what we unpacked Tuesday after the football. What was to be gained? Whoa, we have another interception on the stat sheet. Whoa, we got another sack on the stat sheet. I mean, that was the only positive things there for the 49ers. The negative things, we could have gone, there was a lot of negatives, and the worst negative that could have happened right there was that right there. So, yeah, there's no excuse for that play call. And Shanahan, I'm sure, will do better next time. He's a guy that's, he is the king, or, the guy that is the leader of that organization and has autonomy over everything. So, of course, it all falls back on him, and he knows that. He does. He's also had, two defensive coordinators in the past where, he empowers them a little bit, and that's what makes them great, because they've talked so much and had these meetings, and he trusts them that they understand his vision for certain situations in the football game. Saleh, D'Amico Ryans, right, never had these issues. Steve Wilks, hey, he's new to the organization here. He's learning the Shanahan 49er way of life on the defensive side of the ball, and he messed up in a big moment. And it's unfortunate, and it probably cost him the football game. But, yeah, I would bet you that, to your point, Shanahan has learned, in moments like that, I need to just put my tablet aside and really make sure I pay attention to what's being said in the headset of, Dre Greenlaw or Fred Warner, whoever gets the play calls there, and I can make sure I agree with the call. And if I have to manage it and call a timeout and say, hey, forget that call, timeout, call something else, that's stupid, he'll learn from that moment. But I think that's why he said it yesterday, Mike. He's just trying to get it out there. I don't think he's not a throw a guy under the bus type of guy. He's not. I think he's just an honest guy that's going, I'm going to end all the speculation and all the talk there, and I'm going to get it out, and I'm going to say it, and we're going to move on. And that's kind of the way he operates, in my opinion there.
The only potential positive from that play call for the 49ers would have been to get to Kirk Cousins, have him fumble, as we've seen him do more than a few times over the past 5 years.
Sure,
when he gets hit in the pocket, recover it, Jake Moody field goal. It's 10-10 at halftime. It went from 10-0, 10-10, just like that. Momentum fully on the 49ers side, but the risk overcame the reward. The risk was Vikings score a touchdown and regain the momentum and carry it into halftime 16-7 and hold on to win 22-17. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.